I had always been a skeptic when it came to the supernatural. Raised in a bustling city, I viewed tales of the otherworldly as nothing more than fanciful stories or, at most, exaggerated legends designed to frighten us. However, my perspective shifted dramatically during a visit to my ancestral village nestled in the heart of India, far removed from the hustle and bustle of urban life. The serene landscape, with its lush green fields, ancient stone temples, and hauntingly quiet nights, seemed to harbor mysteries I was unprepared to encounter. The experiences I had there profoundly unsettled me and made me reevaluate everything I had previously believed. It was an intensely hot summer when I chose to visit my grandmother's village for the first time in many years. My parents had often shared tales about the place, its tranquility, the warmth of the locals, and the evenings spent under the sprawling banyan tree with a cup of tea in hand. However, they never mentioned the part of the village that was shrouded in mystery, particularly after dark, the eastern edge, where an old, deserted well lay hidden among thick trees. On my second night there, as the sun set, casting brilliant shades of orange and pink across the sky, my younger cousin brought up the well. Always eager to showcase his courage, he casually asked, "You know about the cursed well, right?" I rolled my eyes, intrigued yet skeptical. "Cursed? What are you talking about?" I dismissed the notion quickly. "That well has been sealed for years. They say it's due to something that happened decades ago. People went missing around it and some were never seen again. Even the animals steer clear of that area," he said, his voice dropping to a whisper. I chuckled at first, but a flicker of curiosity ignited within me. I didn't buy into the idea of curses, yet I felt compelled to uncover the truth. What was the real tale behind the well? Why did everyone keep their distance? That night, sleep eluded me. Every sound outside my window seemed magnified in the stillness of the village. The soft rustling of leaves, the distant calls of crickets, and the occasional hoot of an owl all contributed to an atmosphere that felt both vibrant and ominous. It was in that moment I resolved to visit the well. I needed to see it for myself. The following morning, I casually brought up to my grandmother my desire to wander around the village, especially the area by the well. Her expression changed dramatically, and I could see her color drain. "You mustn't go there," she cautioned, her voice quivering. "That place, it's not safe. Terrible things have occurred there." I was surprised by her intense reaction. My grandmother was a resilient woman who seldom displayed fear, so her sudden anxiety made me hesitate, yet my curiosity was too strong to resist. I promised her I wouldn't venture too close and stepped outside. As I approached the well, I felt a shift in the atmosphere. The air became heavy and oppressive, and the trees loomed with long, dark shadows. The cheerful chirping of birds abruptly ceased, leaving an eerie silence. The well was situated in a small clearing, its surface obscured by a rusty iron grate. It appeared ancient and weathered, but there was an unsettling aura about it that sent chills down my spine. As I drew nearer, the sound of my footsteps reverberated in the unsettling stillness. Upon reaching the well, I noticed peculiar engravings etched into the stones that encircled it, symbols that were unfamiliar to me. I instinctively reached out to feel the stone's surface when, out of nowhere, a soft whisper caught my attention. Initially, I dismissed it as the breeze, but the sound intensified. It was a voice, a woman's voice, imploring, "Help me, please." My heart began to race. I scanned the area, hoping to find someone, yet there was no one in sight. The voice seemed to emanate from the well itself. A wave of panic washed over me, and I stumbled back, my breath becoming shallow. I felt an overwhelming urge to flee, but my legs felt heavy and unresponsive. Then, in my peripheral vision, I caught a fleeting glimpse of something, a figure, barely discernible in the dim light. It was a woman, clad in white, standing ominously at the well's edge. Her eyes were vacant, and her expression was one of sheer torment. And just as swiftly as she had appeared, she vanished. I dashed back to the house, my heart racing wildly. I kept the shocking sight to myself, knowing no one would take me seriously. They would just label me as another city kid frightened by rural legends. That night, however, the nightmares began to plague me. Each time I shut my eyes, I was confronted by her, the woman in white, her empty gaze locked onto mine as she reached out. Her voice echoed in my mind, repeating the same haunting plea. Help me. Free me. I would wake up soaked in sweat, the weight of fear pressing heavily on my chest. The following day, I attempted to maintain a facade of normalcy, but the atmosphere in the village felt altered. Whispers floated around, and I could feel eyes on me as if everyone knew about my encounter and sensed the eerie presence that had trailed me from the well. My cousin, noticing my distress, pulled me aside and asked, "You went to the well, didn't you?" His face was ashen. I nodded, unable to refute it. "You shouldn't have done that," he cautioned in a hushed tone. "Once you see her, she won't leave you be." My heart dropped at his words. "What do you mean?" I asked, anxiety creeping in. "She's the spirit of a woman who suffered a terrible fate. They say her husband cast her into the well long ago, and her spirit has been trapped there ever since. She haunts anyone who ventures too close, yearning for someone to set her free. But those who attempt to help her never return." That evening, I reached a breaking point. I had to return. I needed clarity about what was happening to me. With just a flashlight in hand and a rising sense of unease, I headed back to the well. The atmosphere was thick with apprehension, and each step felt increasingly burdensome. Upon arriving at the well, the whispers started again, this time more pronounced and urgent. The woman's silhouette emerged once again, now much closer, her hand extending toward me. I felt an inexplicable force pulling me toward the well's edge. Just then, I heard footsteps behind me. I turned to find my grandmother, her expression filled with concern. She had followed me, worried about my intentions. Gripping my arm, she pulled me back and said, "You can't save her. No one can." As the figure dissolved into the shadows, the whispers faded away. I didn't inquire how my grandmother knew this. Some mysteries are best left untouched. All I was aware of was my fortune in escaping that place unscathed. The following morning, I departed from the village, yet the image of the well and the woman lingers in my mind, haunting me like a specter. The sun rose slowly, casting a golden hue over the landscape, but the beauty of the dawn did little to dispel the shadows that clung to my thoughts. I could still see her ethereal figure. Her eyes, deep and sorrowful, seemed to hold the weight of countless stories, each one a whisper of despair and longing. As I journeyed away from the village, I felt an inexplicable pull to return, to uncover the truth behind the well and the woman who haunted my dreams. The road stretched out before me, winding through dense forests and rolling hills, but my heart remained tethered to that place, to the mysteries that lay buried beneath the surface. I knew that the echoes of the past would continue to resonate within me, urging me to seek answers, to confront the shadows that lingered just beyond the light.